Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday. Cheers. So I'm up and I'm doing, excuse me, not very fast, but also sometimes I have a problem getting the kid up and around for school on any given morning. We're working on her bedtime because sometimes she likes to stay up as late as she possibly can. And I get it, but then she doesn't want to get up in the morning. So we're working on that. Either way, this morning the husband was here and he was sleeping, and I actually went and I said, hey, psst, psst, psst. I poked him like poking a bear. I said, hey, you gonna get up and help me with this kid this morning? And he was right up. I was so excited because he just hopped right up and he's like, yep, I'm on it. Thank you. Because otherwise I'm consistent. I don't want to stand and be on her case all the time while she's getting around, because that irritates her, it irritates me, and then we both start arguing, and that's not what I want. I don't want us to both argue because I have to stand there and watch her get around. So I go and I wake her up and then I walk away, and then I go wake her up again and I walk away, and then I go wake her up again and I walk away, and it's like an hour-long freaking process every morning. So the husband has got my back and we're figuring things out. Things aren't always figured out every moment of every day. We all have emotions and feelings and things we're dealing with every day. That's one of the reasons I tell you guys some of the stuff that's going on that I'm dealing with, is because we're all doing things every day. And sometimes things work well for us and sometimes things don't work so well for us. And sometimes you got to revamp things and do things in a different manner to get things done more efficiently. Yeah. Cheers. So I'm packaging up cookies this morning, and I still don't have a printer, which is okay because I do have a Sharpie, and I write the flavor of every of the cookies on every single package. Just so happens this time it's the flavor of the cookie and chocolate flavored icing, because I want to promote that chocolate flavored icing, because it's like a chocolate covered strawberry cookie or a chocolate covered blueberry cookie. The chocolate or the icing is flavored with a chocolate flavoring. So it's extra writing, and that's okay. I will do it because that's what I do. Once I used my aunt's printer and that was great, but I don't have a printer of my own, and I'm not driving over there every time I need to print something. I'm not doing it, because then I got to mesh with her schedule and I'm just not doing it. So instead, I just write on my bags. It's okay. Because sometimes when I'm ready to do whatever I'm doing, my aunt's busy, she's sleeping, she's working, she's doing something. And so I'm not going to just try to wait for her to be available for me to get my labels printed. I'm just going to write on the bags. That's fine. Eventually, one of these days, I'll get a printer. Maybe this summer, because I'm going to be having my farm stand. It's not a farm, but I'm going to have my roadside stand outside all summer long. Like, I only had the idea last year at the end of summer. This year, all summer long, from spring all the way through fall. However long I can be outside with my stuff, that's what I'm going to do. It could be very lucrative. It could be extremely lucrative. And when the husband helps, it's even more lucrative. So that's what I'm going to go with. So either way, I'm up this morning. I'm packaging up cookies. And I've got to figure out whether I need to package cookies in this bag or in this bag, because they're different sizes. And so then I go through and I measure. Is it going to fit here? Is it going to fit here? Ooh, that one might fit. Oh my gosh. Maybe. Let's see. Ha ha ha, it does. Well, that's sweet, because see, I wasn't sure if I had enough of these bags, and I do have plenty of these bags, so that's great. So, ooh, I'm excited, super excited, because see, the butterflies, they fit in this smaller bag, but then I have these bunnies, which look like they should fit in the smaller bag, and technically they do. But if I want to seal it properly, I got something sticking out there, and I'm not going to do that. So I'll put the bunny in the bigger bag. And it's a lot of figuring. That's probably the biggest thing, is figuring out which cookie is going to go into which bag, and then labeling said bags. So I can get rid of 10 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Perfect. And I need 10 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Got that done. So I'll go through and I'll just write the flavors on everything. But I told them that their cookies will be ready to pick up this afternoon. And so that's what I'm doing. It is what it is. And then I'm probably going to take a nap, because I feel like I haven't been sleeping. And even the husband said I was like snoring a lot last night, jumping a lot in my sleep, just doing things that I probably normally do, but it's probably driving me crazy while I'm sleeping. And I don't realize that I'm doing it while I'm sleeping. Either way, I need one less. All right, because I've already got one in a bag. So that bag will be here. All right. So get up on a Thursday and do things for yourself. It's kind of what we were trying to get across to the kid, the idea that we were getting across to the kid. Like, I know you don't want to go to sleep, when we ask you to. You want to stay up as late as possible. But also, when you get to sleep, you don't want to wake up. And that's fine. Like, when I get to sleep, I really don't want to wake up. I want to continue to keep sleeping. But I get up anyway, and it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. If she goes to bed at 9 o'clock, I go to bed at 10. If she goes to bed at 10 o'clock, I go to bed at 11. If she goes to bed at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, I could go to bed earlier. But I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to do something different. So yeah, sometimes you got to finagle things differently in your life. And even if you've been doing it a certain way for so long and you're not getting the results that you want, you got to flip it up. You got to switch it up. You got to do things differently. And sometimes I do things differently so I can get better results. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't know what I need to do differently. I just know I need to do things differently. And that's kind of where we're all at. Sometimes we don't know what to do next. We don't know what to do differently next. So we just keep doing what we know how to do. And it's not always conducive to getting the stuff done that you want to get done. And remember that you are your human. Let me get this out here. You are your human that you need to take care of. I heard this on a clip from the Drew Barrymore show. Some other guy was talking about it. But you are your human to take care of the rest of your life. Do you have children to take care of? Possibly. Do you have a spouse to help with and stuff? Possibly. By the way, my spouse does a really good job taking care of himself. So happy for that. That means I don't have to. Like, I love my spouse a lot, but I don't want to take care of him like I'm waiting on him hand and foot and doing all this other stuff for him. In fact, the other night, I hadn't done the dishes and I wanted him to cook dinner, and he's like, I gotta cook with dirty dishes. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll do it anyway. And I guess it wasn't that he wanted me to do the dishes. He was just making a comment that the dishes were dirty, and he ended up washing the dishes so he could make the dinner. And it's something that I'm not used to. Like, I'm not used to a man taking care of himself. Yes, I've been married to him for quite some time, about 12 years-ish. It'll be 13 years this year. But I'm still not used to him taking care of himself. I'm still used to doing things that people don't want to do for themselves. I'm still used to doing things that people don't want to do for themselves. And sometimes you got to get out of that. In fact, all the time, you got to get out of that. You got to let others do the things that they need to do for themselves. Like, can I give you advice? Sure. Am I going to physically help you? Am I going to physically drop everything I'm doing to go help you physically? No, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks verbally. I'm going to expect you to do it yourself, because I'm not going to be here forever. Tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. I say it every day. Tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. So as long as tomorrow isn't promised to anyone, get up and do it yourself. As long as you have the ability to get up and do things yourself, do it yourself. My grandmother, she's 84. Yeah, she's 84. She'll be 85 this year. And I know because she's 40 years older than me, and I'll be 45 this year. So, but even grandma, she gets up and she does things herself. There's a lot of things I do for grandma, yes, but there's a lot of things that I don't do because I know that she enjoys doing the things for herself as well. Like she watched her father decline before he passed away, and we both watched my great grandmother decline before she passed away. And we don't want that for ourselves. Like, so we're up and we're not slowing down. We're not. And if you do slow down, that's fine. Slow down, rest for a minute, get back up and do more. And then if you need to rest some more and get back up and do more. I also saw something this morning about resting, and that resting and being unproductive is actually productive for you. Resting your body and being unproductive for yourself is actually being productive for yourself. And yes, it sounds backwards because it is, because we're not used to it. And I have really for about the last couple of years had this idea that if you start doing things backwards, you actually get better results. If you start doing some things backwards, you actually get better results. So rest. That's a backwards thing. Rest. Be unproductive. Because then that will help you when you start again. It will help you be more productive when you begin again. I promise. And I've also noticed that when I have my sales outside, if I don't take a Monday and a Tuesday, or if I don't take 1 and 2 days to rest in between each weekend, if I don't take those days to rest, my sales are shit. But if I do take those days to rest and then I get back at being productive, my sales are phenomenal. Phenomenal being like $150 in the weekend. That's phenomenal for me. I know it's not a lot of money, but it's something. And it helps us get through between his paychecks. It helps us get through. So it is what it is, right? In fact, these cookies that I'm selling here, they're for just a little over $100. There's 6 dozen of them. A little more than $100. But, yeah, so, sometimes I put in a whole week's worth of work for a little bit of nothing. And that's okay because it also helps us get through to the next stage, next day, whatever it is. And it also helps me not borrow money from people. Yeah. So, on a Thursday, find some things to feel grateful for. And today I'm grateful that I have enough bags. I was little sweating balls that I wouldn't have enough bags because I was thinking that most every cookie was going to be in these bags. And I have 72 cookies to pack. Yeah, 72 cookies to pack. And I was like, ooh, I don't think I have 72 big bags. But between the big ones, the small ones, I got plenty. And apparently I can put my roses. I got roses. They go in the small bags too. I got roses. And butterflies. The butterflies can go in the small bag because they're compact enough. So yeah, find your own things to feel grateful for. And I'm grateful, uber grateful, that the husband was here this morning to help with the kid and helped me reiterate the things that are important. And that's getting up and listening to your mom. Look, she doesn't always have to listen to me. And I don't demand that she always listens to me, but I do demand that you get up and you get around and you get stuff done. And you don't just make me wake you up for a whole hour. Like, do you think I want to spend a whole hour waking you up? No. And I turned it around on her. I said, if I were you and you were me, would you like to spend a whole hour waking me up? Well, but you're the mom, so it doesn't matter. You're always up. I'm not always up, and I haven't always been awake when my kids need me the most. Lately I am. The last couple of years I am. I'm always awake these days. If I take a nap, it's while she's not here. So I'm always awake, always available for her. So find your own things on a Thursday to feel grateful for. Those are just a couple of things I'm grateful for. And so I'm really grateful that the husband's got my back. And the kid's kind of pissed off because the husband's got my back. She's like, I don't get why dad is on my case about this stuff. It's because I'm asking for the right things. I'm not demanding crazy things from you. I'm demanding normal things that a mom should demand from her child. Not really demand, but we need to get this stuff done. It's not just mom doing it for you. It's you got to do some stuff for yourself too. Like the other night, I had her make her own dinner. I was here, I was watching her, but she made her dinner. She scooped out her dinner. She did that herself. So Because again, tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. So I'm going to train you and teach you what I need to teach you while I'm here. You may not like it in the moment, but you'll be grateful for it later. I know that a lot of people don't like the later part of it. They would rather be grateful for it now or have the instant gratification. Instant gratification doesn't always happen. Also, be your own magic. Find your own magic. Sometimes your own magic isn't asking for help from somebody else. Sometimes you need physical help from someone else. I needed physical help from my husband this morning. Sometimes you need mental help or verbal help from somebody else. And that's okay. Then, people can give that verbal or mental help as well. And sometimes you need spiritual help. Sometimes you need physical help. Sometimes you need emotional help. That's okay. Sometimes I don't need to drop in everything that I'm doing just to go and physically, emotionally, spiritually, and whatever help you. I can give you a couple of words of advice and you can do it yourself because I'm doing things myself. That's how I know that others can do things for themselves, because I'm doing things for myself that I didn't think I could do by myself. I'm doing things for myself that I didn't think that was possible for myself. So, get up and do things for yourself. If you have the ability, get up and do it yourself. And there's times when I don't get up and do things myself because I'm too tired. I don't have the ability. And sometimes I do have the ability, but I'm just too tired, which I need to rest and stuff. So, find your own magic in something with those things. And find your own sunshine. Be your own sunshine. Tomorrow isn't promised, so get up and do it for yourself. I think I even cried a couple of times this morning because it was just frustrating that, I was talking to the husband in the moment of getting the kid around for school, and I was telling him what I normally deal with during the week and how frustrating it is. And so I cried because I was frustrated. Did I keep it going? No. And you can't even tell that I was crying. Like, normally, once I start crying, you can tell. Like, my eyes are all bloodshot and my eyes are all swollen and I'm all that. But I've been paying attention to my emotions so I can continue to be my own sunshine. And my emotions might get the better of me, but also I'm paying more attention to them so I can nip it in the butt before it becomes a whole big to-do thing. So I've been practicing handling my emotions, not controlling them, handling them. I still feel those emotions and I feel them very strongly, but I also handle them better. And you can't avoid the emotion that you're going through. You've got to handle it the way you handle it. How are you going to handle it? I don't know how you're going to handle it. I don't know how I'm handling my emotions. I just know that I get it out. I talk about it. Sometimes with the husband, sometimes by myself. And then I make myself feel better because I'm what I've got at the end of the day. Do I have other people? Sure. Yeah. I got my kids. I got my husband. But at the end of the day, I've got me. I'm the person I've got to be accountable for. Because if I'm not accountable for myself, I can't do it for others. So, be your own sunshine. Tomorrow isn't promised. Do it now because you could want to do it tomorrow and you don't get it tomorrow, right? So do whatever it is that you need to do now, today. So, I think I've been winded enough. I hope everyone has a great, lovely, amazing Thursday. I'm going to get off of here and get these cookies packaged up so then I can go on and do other things throughout the rest of the day. And then just wait patiently for them to pick up the cookies. So, everyone have a great day. Misty out.